Roman Reigns will get involved in the Night 2 main event between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I'd love to see Cena versus Rhodes straight up 1v1 WrestleMania main event, no outside interference, no Rock, no Travis Scott, no Roman Reigns, no Jey Uso, no Randy Orton, no Kevin Owens, none of that. We saw it last year where everybody in them are there. They emptied the locker room for the WrestleMania main event last year. Undertaker was out there. John Cena was out there. Solo Sikoa was out there. The Usos were out there. They emptied the locker room. Everybody who was ever part of this feud for 2 milliseconds on TV, they got involved. I would love to see a straight up 1v1 match this year for the world title, but we're not going to get that. The Rock is still a factor. We haven't seen or heard from him since Elimination Chamber. That's not going to sustain. His souls are a factor. John Cena sold his soul to The Rock, but maybe he's not the only one. What did we talk about earlier this segment? Drew McIntyre losing to Damian Priest at Mania. Drew McIntyre also saying last week on a podcast, there might be something coming between him and The Rock, and it's going to be big, but that's all he can say. Maybe that plays a role in Night 2 main event. Cody's allies have been stripped away. Kevin Owens turned on him. Jey Uso has his hands full with Gunther, who just essentially assaulted, and it looked like he killed him, but he really bloodied up Jimmy Uso. So Jay's not going to help out Cody. Sammy's been taken out by Kevin. He hasn't been seen since Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton has KO at Mania, so he has his hands full, but he also looked at Cody and said, listen, you get through Mania, Cena might have kicked you in the balls. I'm coming straight at your head. I'm coming straight for you, but I'll do it in front of your face. So Randy's not going to come out there for him. So if The Rock gets involved, who's got Cody's back? Well, maybe it's a relationship out of necessity. Maybe it's somebody who I still have a hard time believing didn't take exception to The Rock choosing John Cena and then Cody Rhodes before him to be his guy, to be his champion. Roman Reigns is blood. Roman Reigns is family. The Rock put up the damn family tree before WrestleMania 40 and said, this is everything to me. And then he goes and chooses Cody Rhodes, who denies him inevitably. And then he chooses John Cena over Roman Reigns, who just finished up a 1,300-day world title reign, the longest that we have seen in the modern era. Yeah, something tells me that Roman might be the guy to come out and say, enough of this, to start their storyline for WrestleMania 42 between Roman and The Rock. Because let's face it, when The Rock started getting involved in this WrestleMania build, it was on an Instagram story where he simply said, instead of one day, it's day one. And today is day one of something that I've always said that I want to do someday, but I'm going to start doing today. That wasn't stealing the soul of John Cena. That's not what he's always wanted to do. What he's always wanted to do was main event WrestleMania with his cousin, Roman Reigns. And that story can't be told in 2 weeks, 2 months. Shoot, that story could probably be told in 2 years. But with the next thing happening being The Rock coming out and announcing in New Orleans that WrestleMania 42 is in New Orleans, and then starting this long story where he's taking souls, where he's grabbing champions, and he's starting to become a delineator instead of somebody that needs to go into the ring. He can say, I have John Cena, I have Drew McIntyre, I have maybe, who knows, Randy Orton. And they can do my bidding for me. I could see Roman, who all of a sudden is a sympathetic tweener, where he's still not a babyface, but he is widely adored. And eventually we all expect him to become the babyface that is right up there next to Cody Rhodes. Relationship out of necessity. We saw it at Bad Blood. Roman wants his title back, but Roman being shunned by a family member might take the cake on that one. That's why instead of going after the title immediately, he had to go back and get the Ula Fala from Solo Sikoa. After he's done with his triple threat match and his business is done with CM Punk and Seth Rollins in Mania weekend, maybe he turns his attention to The Rock and what he's been doing with John Cena. So that's my last bold prediction here, is that Roman Reigns will get involved in the Night 2 main event of WrestleMania 41 between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Let me know in the comments. Am I way off base on these?